Thinking about studying in South Korea? Well, here are 3 tips to know before you go. Hi, my name is John. I'm an American living in South Korea. I've been in South Korea for 7 years. I came here to study my MBA, and now I have a business here. I want to share with you my experiences studying here in South Korea so that you know what to expect when coming here. Please keep in mind that my experiences were 7 years ago, and South Korea rapidly changes their rules and regulations very quickly. So just keep in mind, this is from my personal experience. My journey in Korea started way before coming here. When I was living in San Diego, California, I was still trying to find my career path. I started my own swim school for children, but it wasn't fulfilling enough. Don't get me wrong, I love kids, just that I wanted to do something a little bit more for myself. I've always wanted a career in entertainment, so I decided that I would continue my studies in the entertainment industry. This time, I would do it from a different perspective. In Korea, during 2012 and 2013, I was using meetup groups in San Diego to meet different people and also studying Mandarin Chinese. While I was in the Mandarin meetup, my friend told me about the Korean meetup and how much more fun it was. I decided to go, and lo and behold, it was an amazing experience. Koreans love sharing their culture, especially the entertainment aspect of it. I decided after a year of attending meetups that I would pursue my master's in business administration in Korean entertainment. After being accepted into the MBA program at a prestigious university in Seoul, I've already researched the program and how I was going to study there. According to the school website, I thought there would be English instructors for English classes. I also assumed that their educational system would be similar to that of the United States. And boy, was I wrong. Here are some tips to know before studying in South Korea. Tip number 1. Even though the school site says that they have English classes, most likely they won't have any. There might be a few classes that you might be able to apply to, but they're most likely electives. Unless your major is mostly pertaining to English, most of your classes will be instructed in Korean. This means that you must study Korean first before starting your program. This also depends on whether you're studying your bachelor's, master's, or PhD. Most likely for a bachelor's degree, you'll have to do an intensive Korean language program first and test to the level of 4 to 5. There are a total of 6 levels. As for the master's and PhD program, it depends on the individual as well as the program. I had an option to either start my studies right away or study some Korean. I chose the latter. I studied Korean intensively for 9 months before starting my program. This meant 4 hours of speaking, listening, and writing in Korean every day. I was so glad that I studied it because my program, surprisingly, was all in Korean. Tip number 2. The school administrations are just not the same as those in America. I was expecting the administrators to know exactly what they're doing and how they're able to help the students with signing up for classes and other student life problems. And boy, was I wrong. Most of the time, I had to go back and forth throughout the campus to get an answer for my questions. When I asked about English classes, most people were confused or didn't know at all. This became a very frustrating experience, as I later found out that although many Korean universities welcomed foreign students and wanted them to do well, their systems were not prepared for the influx of students on their campuses. This meant low English teaching instructors, English programs, student life programs, and etc. I would admit that many universities have improved their systems lately since I've graduated 4 years ago, but there are still many things that they need to improve on. Tip number 3. Be prepared to not participate in class. I was surprised on how quiet the students were during class. No one asked any questions or even asked for any clarification. I do have to admit that since I was in the MBA program, most of the students were in their late 20s and early 30s, so asking the professor to clarify the point wasn't uncommon. To question the professor in front of others is a sign of disrespect in Korea. Therefore, most students won't question anything the professors say. On the other hand, the professors also don't ask questions to the students to make sure that they understand. They just assume that the students will get the material and move on. This was shocking to me since students are like customers. We pay the universities to get an education. This is just part 1 of 2 of my Korean educational experience. I will continue part 2 in the future. Please comment below your thoughts and or experiences studying in a different country, or whether you have any studying experiences here in South Korea. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more marketing tips and life in Korea. I'll see you in the next video.